Hey friends, Andrea here. This is just going to be another card showcase video. Most of these cards I made a couple months ago and I just didn't get around to filming them until now. But I thought I would showcase some of these cute cards. I've got 9 thank you cards and 9 thinking of you or kind of hello themed cards. So I'll start with the thank you cards. I'll just put these up here and I'll start with these thank you cards. First of all, these cards are all made with cardstock that was in my stash, and not all of the cards are from the same exact paper pack. So if you have questions about which paper pack it was, most of the time these are going to be paper packs that are 10 years old or older. So it may not be something you can locate, but hopefully it'll be just useful to see how I did my card layouts and how I make cards in bulk. So just kind of a disclaimer there. So let's start with the first thank you card. This cardstock is so busy and sparkly and just has a lot going on, and I didn't really want to do anything else with it. It just works on its own. It's very standout. Kind of has like a wallpaper look. Doesn't it look like, kind of like a wainscoting? I don't know if everyone knows what wainscoting is, but anyway, it's kind of, or like a wrapping paper look to it, I guess. Anyway, I kept it simple with some of this green that was in the green stripe here, and then I used this thanks stamp that I've had. I think I got that thanks stamp at Michael's like 15 years ago in the dollar section, so it's been paying off. So then I put the little 3 dots, my signature kind of 3 dots in the top and bottom corners of this double banner. And it already has kind of a glitter embossed, I don't know, effect on the paper to begin with. So I thought that would tie it all together. And it is on a piece of off-white, I don't know, ecru would be the color that I would call that. And I do happen to have some matching envelopes in my stash, so that worked. I am trying to use these envelopes up as it's just impossible. I don't have that much cardstock in that color. So it's getting to be a little bit challenging, but that's the point of this card challenge, this 1000 card challenge. So I have another one from the same, this is actually the same sheet of paper, believe it or not. It kind of goes like this. And so when I trimmed it, I was able to get, almost 2 different looking sheets of paper and cards. It doesn't even look like it is from the same sheet of paper, but it's the same. And then on this one, I added it to this beautiful, I don't know what color orange this is, like a persimmon. I think that's such a beautiful color. That dark orange looks really nicely on certain skin tones, and mine is included, so I really like that color. I'm very drawn to kind of those fall jewel tones. So anyways, that I thought would be really pretty with the rest of it's got like a beautiful feathery floral embossing design on it, if you can see that. It's just gorgeous. And then there's some floral stuff here. It kind of reminds me of like Spanish tile or something like that. So I used that same thanks, and then in this case I didn't want to put another mat on it because I had a hard time finding another, and I thought that the green just didn't quite fit here. So I just left it glued on straight down onto the cardstock, and then I did my 3 dots. But yeah, it's a really pretty paper. It's not the first thing I go to. It's not the first thing I gravitate towards, but when it's on its own, it really looks just gorgeous, and I think that any friend of mine who got that would be really just thrilled. So I have a few cards that have this pattern paper, and this is from a whole different set of paper, but it also has the glitter glue, or the glitter embossing rather. I think that must have been a popular thing with that particular time period, maybe, that I bought this cardstock. I will say I bought the majority of my cardstock in the late 2000s, so like 2009, 2008, 2010 maybe, but probably mostly 2008 and 9 is when I bought I don't know why, I just went hog wild. And so anyway, that's not the point of this video, but that's why I'm trying to use up my stash and have this 1,000 card challenge. So this cardstock is super bright and it's very challenging to find coordinating colors. So when I found this blue color cardstock, I immediately threw it together with a second card, and I think I might have some others in here. So I just was like, yes. And then I had this orange matte. It's very similar to that color. In a weird way, it reminds me of Thanksgiving, even though the blue does not belong. It's just that this kind of like leaf print is very harvesty to me. But the blue, that kind of like turquoise blue, is not at all Thanksgiving themed. So anyways, this cute scrolly thank you, I'm pretty sure I got that from Michael's in the dollar section a long time ago. I don't use it that often because I don't really love it, but I was trying to just come up with a variety of things cards. So I matted it on the orange and I put little glue dots in the four corners here. But the kind of like medallion embossed pattern is really cool, and it's so bright. I feel like it would just put a smile on your face, or it would be pretty to look at when you get it in the mail. I have that same cardstock here on the same blue card base, and then the same orange. In this case, I used a different thank you sentiment, and I put it on as a banner, and then I did the 3 dots in the two alternating, or sorry, opposite corners. I really like this thank you sentiment, but it's on a woodblock stamp, I believe, and it's not centered on the woodblock. So when I cut out my pieces of cardstock to stamp it, it always comes out just ever so slightly off centered or like at an angle, and that drives me nuts. I don't know, it probably isn't noticeable to anyone but me. But anyways, so this card came together really quickly because I used the same kind of stuff as that one. This one is a duplicate of the same layout. It's just that one is horizontal and one is vertical. So really, you can see how that is angled. Anyway, nobody notices it but me, so silly. And then I did this same thank you stamp, but on a different cardstock. This is the same, these two card pattern papers are from the same cardstock set. I can't talk today. So that orange and blue theme is throughout the cardstock, and I chose to use a really bright yellow cardstock for my stash because I have like 1,000 sheets of this yellow, and I need to find ways to use it up. And it kind of felt like it matched with that color, not this one, but like the little side guy, like this little thing here. So I just chose to use that yellow to bring it in and draw more attention to that little yellow that's incorporated throughout the card. And then I used the orange cardstock, the same as in the other ones, and I centered the sentiment in the card, and then I put the little glitter glue corners. So pretty straightforward and simple. This card is also, I think it might be from the same stack. It's got that same blue, but I might be totally off base. Anyway, in this case, I think I had a scrap of that exact same green that I had for the card base, which I love. And I didn't have enough to fully matte my sentiment. I didn't want to get too close to the letters because I thought that it might, I don't know, it might look funky. So instead, what I did was just try to like make a shadow version of it. And I don't know, I think it turns out well. It's successfully executed because it's really just a way to make it pop off the page and not blend into the background so much. Not that it could possibly blend into the background, but just to give it a little bit of elevation. And then the card stock again has that glitter embossed. This one is a really pretty floral. I don't know what kind of flower that is, but it's a really pretty pattern. And then it's got this like neon green and bright orange and bright blue. So, but it's at the same time of being floral, it's also geometric with the hexagons and the circles. So it's a really interesting paper. I mean, I will say it's not my favorite paper, but it's still very interesting looking. And then on top of all of that interest, it's also distressed on the corners. So it's just got a lot going on. And if it's something that you spend time looking at it, you can really start to see more and more cool things about this paper. It's just, you know, when it's in a sheet of 12 by 12 in a stack of lots of other pretty less busy cardstocks, it tends to not have the ability to shine. So in a card, it really works. It adds visual interest, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I put the 3 dots in the 2 opposite corners here, and the card was complete. So this card is with a kind of like a rainbow bubble. Oh, I don't know why I don't have envelope for this one, but yeah, I happen to have one just off to the side off camera. But I used the green glitter washi to kind of pull that same green, and then I found a cardstock that's not quite the same orange, but it's maybe like a peachy color, and it kind of matches pretty close. It's not the exact same color, obviously, but it fulfills its color family obligation. Yeah. And then I didn't put any I didn't put any glitter glue on the corners of this one, and I like that it has like the little banner flag thing going on there because it looks really festive with all these colorful bubbles. You might see this one. I've used this colored cardstock on some other cards. Some of them are birthday themed and some of them I can't remember, but it lends itself well to celebratory sentiments. So pretty simple though. And then this last one is from that same, I think both of these are from American Crafts. They don't have any glitter on them, and but I think they are from the same cardstock set. This one has like a weird, kind of has like a 70s vibe of like a, I don't know what shape that would, it's like a teardrop, but it reminded me kind of like a fern or something. I don't know, it has like the different leaves coming out, or like a whale spout almost is how I envision it. But it's got it's really colorful, obviously, so it just kind of is an interesting pattern. So I used the same glitter washi, the green, to pull in the green from the colored paper, and then I found a different color green in my stash to matte the sentiment onto. And again, I didn't use any glitter glue because I thought that the washi alone was plenty of decoration. So that's all the thank you cards. Let's look at the thinking of you cards. There's 9 here. And I'll try to go through some of these quickly. You'll see that there's a lot of the same papers involved here. So I like to call this pattern paper, and I think it's the same when you do it in fabrics. It's called a ditzy print. It's just like lots of tiny little stuff sprinkled around, and I just think that's a really cute and delicate pattern. It does have some glitter embossing on it on the flowers. I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but it's really cute. And then I just did a flag banner, but instead of doing like the two tails, I did one tail at an angle, and then I did glitter glue all along that corner or that live edge. This pattern paper is really cute because it's got all these little flowers, these little daisies on it, and then some of them have embossing, and then there's like little speckles, little dots all over it. It's just got a lot of interest. It's cute. So there's that. This one I was trying to use something from my stash. So it's that same paper again, that floral geometric distressed I don't know, paper. And then I had a thinking of you sentiment, and this one is a banner. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like I could have probably done a banner on both sides, but you know, you live and you learn. And then this cardstock here, the circle, was actually from my stash that I had gotten one of those credit card offer envelopes that had a fancy, you know, visually enticing, I don't know what that is called, like a metallic pearlescent finish to it, and I saved the envelope and I used it on this card, and I cut out that little pearlescent circle, and I thought it would be a nice kind of matte instead of the traditional matte of having like something entirely backing the sentiment. I decided to try something different and just go with a circle. And then I did the 3 dots above and below the sentiment, but still within the circle. So I'm not sure if I love it, but it is something that I want to kind of experiment with more. I think having the circle in the center is like a nice visual, a nice place for your eye to land, but then you're still kind of bouncing around and looking at the glue dots and then the little banner thing and all over. So I think it works. We'll see. But it's nice to have another kind of card in my stash. This one is that same paper line as this one. It's from the same cardstock set, but just a different floral print. This one is a lot more vines and things like that and circles, but a lot of color, really pretty, very kind of like feminine, I think. And then I took this same kind of like swirly viney feel and chose this sentiment, the thinking of you sentiment thought, because I have used this paper for like thank you cards and other types of cards, hello cards. But anyway, I didn't matte the sentiment, I just glued it straight on and did the 3 dots. This cardstock also has little polka dots of glitter embossing throughout. I know it might be kind of hard to tell, but it's got, I feel like that 3 dots kind of mirrors what's on the card already. So cute. And then this is exactly the same, actually, the same exact pattern paper, but in blue. So, and it's slightly different. It has more white in it than this one does, and I think that the where the swirly, viney stuff here is in white, in here it's in kind of a lavender color, so it doesn't stand out as much. So it's different for sure, but it's the same design, just different colors. And then I did the same sentiment, different placement, and on this one I cut the edge off and then I just moved it over a little bit and glued it down so there was a little gap. I don't know why, I just thought I would experiment. And then I did my glue dots, and I thought it'd be cool if like this dot was by itself over here in the cutoff part. I don't know if that really works, but it was something fun to try, just because you get bored doing the same exact design layout over and over again, and it's fun to mix it up. So there we go. This is another little like ditzy floral print. I don't think this is from the same exact pattern paper set, but I incorporated that same layout as the other one where I have the sentiment on top of a circle that's in the center of a very busy print. This also has that embossed glitter on it. It seems like it's hard to see on the camera, but it's all over. And then I have just a very plain, I think that might be even the same color as the cardstock, as a card base. But I did the 4 glitter glue dots in the corner. I feel like it could have used maybe like the 3 dots and 3 dot treatment, but I, tried a different thing. Now that I see the two like kind of being compared, I think I prefer the 3 dot treatment. I'm curious what you guys think. If the 3 dots on the circle works better, or if the dots on the corners work better. I do like the circle. I will continue to incorporate that into my designs, but I just don't know how best to incorporate it. Alright, so moving right along. This pattern paper is from a set that has a lot of kind of southwestern themes going on, and it feels like a party to me, so I almost feel like I should have done a celebrate card with this one, but I ended up using some glitter glue to just add a little bit of visual interest to the background, and then I kept the sentiment thinking of you really simple, and I put that like bright hot magenta color on the background. It's not the exact same color as this pink. This is almost more of like a cool toned pink, but it is in the same like color family, so I think it works. And then I used this teal washi, and it is super close color teal to that, so it works. I think that this one just happens to be a little bit more pigmented, and this is a little bit more faded, but it still totally works. And it's very simple, but it is really cute and festive. So again, you'll notice when I was putting this card together, I was using some scraps, and this piece of paper had somehow gotten folded or bent in stash in the wildness of my crafting room. And I really wish now that I'm seeing it that I would have kind of ironed it flat or ironed that wrinkle out, but it's hardly noticeable. I just wanted to point that out, because sometimes you do have stuff that doesn't quite, you don't want to throw it away, but it's kind of damaged. You can definitely salvage it, and it isn't that noticeable. I just happen to notice it because I made it, but I still think it works, and it's really cute. Here's another one of the circle themed ones, and I really like this layout on this really busy background paper. It's a different card circle. It's a textured card circle. I actually have like an entire little Ziploc baggie full of paper punched circles in different colors that I have been trying to use up. So that was kind of the thought process behind putting circles on a lot of these busy background cards. And then I did the thinking of you sentiment, double bannered it on each side, but I didn't add glitter glue to the banner. Instead, I put the 3 dots in the center underneath. I'm not sure, again, which treatment with the circle I like, but I really do like using the circle to kind of draw attention. So there's that. I think this has to be one of the funnest cards I've made. It's just, I actually didn't have to do much. I just had this cardstock, and I trimmed it out to fit on a card base. The card base is kind of a dark green, and it really makes the peachy color pop. And the dark green is, I tried to pull that like dark green color, but it's not quite the same color. This one is more of like a dark forest green, whereas these ones are more of like a army green or a dark olive. So not quite the same color, but it's okay. And then the llama already had this cute little festive attire, and all I did was just add some gold accents to a few places on the card. So I also added the gold accents to the cactus flowers, and it just gives it a nice cute sparkle. This isn't a thinking of you card necessarily. I think this would work for just saying like, hey friend, I appreciate you, or you're special to me kind of thing. It could even work as a thank you. But anyway, it's a one of a kind card. I don't have any other cards like this because the paper pack that this comes from, this is part of a 12 by 12 sheet, and the whole rest of the 12 by 12 is just this wood grain pattern. It doesn't have, so this llama is just in the one like bottom corner of that paper pack. I can't remember what it's called either, the paper pack, but it's just a cute, and llamas are really popular right now, so super cute. This is from the same card set, cardstock, and you can see the color theme is kind of the same yellow and the same kind of like, I don't know what you call that, like peachy color. But this one, it was just one of the cut aparts, and I just cut it out. I thought it was cute as is. I didn't add anything to it. I didn't add a sentiment. It's got the sentiment "Hello Sunshine" already on it. And then all I did was glued it down onto this really bright yellow paper, because it's sunshine like that. You should just get this and feel like the sun is shining on you and you feel happy. That's how I felt. And then I decided to add some glitter glue all the way around the outside border, just randomly. It has gold foiling on it. I don't know how easy it is to notice that, but it does have some gold foiling on it on like the little tassels and around the sun. So I thought that gold glitter was appropriate to add to that outer kind of empty space. It was feeling a little naked before I added the glitter. So I think it came out cute, and there's nothing else I really have to do to it. Just, it was a really, really quick card to throw together. So that's these are 18 cards, thank yous, and kind of, I don't know, thinking of yous, I guess is the way I would call these, or hellos, for this set anyways, for this showcase video. As always, thank you so much for your time and for watching all the way through. I hope that you will like and subscribe to the video, and let me know in the comments if you have a favorite card, or if you have a favorite technique or layout that you appreciate. I'm always open to feedback. If there's a way that you would have done something differently, definitely let me know, especially for the circle cards. I'm still kind of figuring out my way through those, so I'd love any feedback you have on those. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks again so much for watching. Bye!